Bipolar and addiction issues were common in my family. I had, at a fairly young age, gotten my own alcoholism under control, but the mental health issue was to seriously surface later. At the age of 30, I was involved in a serious industrial accident as the result of an explosion.
Mental illness is difficult to live with, and there aren't any easy answers. I've lived with mental illness most of my life, and I've found some things that have helped me navigate along the way. One of the big things for me was accepting that I am chronically ill. I have major depressive disorder, and it's something that I will live with for the rest of my life. There's no cure, there's no getting back to normal, but there is getting better and living life and learning how to manage the illness that I have.
I was off for a year, and during that year the plant shut down, and I had to relocate hundreds of miles away. At 33 years of age, I found myself in even greater family debt, driving old cars to communicate to work in an hour and a half drive one way, and mentally exhausted beyond being mentally capable. I nor anyone around me did not realize that I was now living inside the full-blown symptoms of a manic depressive bipolar disease. Sleep deprivation, extreme mood swings, all this horrible mental mess I just called living within the chaos of living. As a ticking bomb, nightmares and tears constantly, and perhaps worst of all, no one really knew.
The trouble with mental illness is that the part of your body that makes the decisions is the part that's ill. In the midst of major depressive episodes, I haven't made the best decisions. And so I have learned that I need to rely on the people around me and the people who care about me to help me make decisions about medication and treatment and even what I'm doing with my life.
One night I found myself commuting down the 401, alternating between rage and tears, almost moment by moment. I had come to the conclusion that there was no way out. I could not do this horrible thing called living anymore. When the road was clear of other traffic so as not to endanger any other cars, I would drive my little car full speed into a cement piling. If I died, there was insurance money to help them out. If I lived, I would be injured enough to be free once and for all of the shackles of responsibility, but sadly, had slowly fallen back into society's norms.
It's not always easy to find the best professionals or the right professionals, but I've learned to keep asking and to keep looking because psychiatrists and therapists and doctors can help you make a plan. Professionals can help find a course for treatment. They can help keep you on track. They've helped me with different kinds of therapy, and all those things are useful in managing chronic mental illness.
Every cement structure that I passed declined. I would close my eyes and will my arms to turn the wheel, but nothing. Finally, I was in my driveway. There was company there. I had thought of spilling all my emotional and desperate hell to my wife. She would try to understand. I knew that. But I also knew that she would be overwhelmed by it all, especially knowing that all we had survived in the past 3 years was for naught.
I'm fortunate right now to be on medications that are helping me, and they help me think more clearly. Family and friends are also an important part of managing my mental illness. Mental illness can be very hard on relationships, and my go-to has been to pretend that nothing's wrong, and that hasn't always been very helpful. I've learned that it's better for them to know. Sometimes it's scary to tell people what's going on in my head, but I've learned that knowledge is helpful.
Instead, I telephoned a friend, and as luck would have it, he was home and between jobs. So I went over to his place. I'm not sure all he said or I said, but I do know I poured my soul out to him, and he fully accepted me as broken, frail, and needing help, not criticism. And he very much recommended a counselor, psychiatrist he and his wife had been seeing over family matters.
Another thing I found helpful is to find other people who are living with mental illness. I found a group here at the Community Health Center, and I find I'm less isolated. The group here challenges me to change my negative thinking. They are encouraging me in what I'm doing, and also just hearing their stories of how they managed.
That friend and that psychiatrist and my family doctor together over a great many evening coffees and office teas saved my life. I know how fortunate I was and still am to have one person who really, really listened and had compassion. I know it's rare, and I am so fortunate that we still have that close relationship. Not everyone can find someone at a crucial time. If you have someone, don't hesitate. If there is no one you can think of right now, find something. Some compassionate social worker, a helpline, or something. Reach out. Take that chance. I know it's terrifying. The possible judgments or the criticisms and ridicule, or worst of all, the possible apathy. Possibly the worst part of mental illness is the overpowering sense of aloneness. Life breaks your leg, and everyone wants to know your story. Life breaks your mind for a time, and no one can see to ask. But sometimes it's simply hearing somebody else's story that can make you believe in hope again.
One thing about the group is I can be myself. It's a place where I can just be me. And I can have a good day or a bad day or just a meh day. And I'm understood, and I'm allowed to be who I am and where I'm at. And there's just a huge relief in knowing that I'm not in this alone.